Yep, the holidays are close. I'm so happy that Christmas is in 5 days and I'm finally wearing my Buddy the Elf t-shirt. And I love the movie Elf. I'm being completely honest. I love this movie so much. It is a fantastic Christmas movie. I also love It's a Wonderful Life, Home Alone 2. But there's this one Christmas movie that I love the most out of any other Christmas movie in the entire world. That has to be Die Hard. Die Hard is a 1988 Christmas action movie directed by John McTiernan and stars Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, and Reginald ValJohnson. So this movie is about John Mcclane. He is a cop from New York who goes to California to celebrate Christmas with his wife. He's trying to have a fun time with his wife until several German terrorists take over a Los Angeles building, and it's up to John Mcclane to save the day. And this movie is literally one of the coolest action movies to ever exist within a millennium of filmmaking. Die Hard is the true definition of what an epic action movie really is, because this movie has everything that an action movie needs in terms of gunplay, explosions, stunt work, a likable protagonist, a very cool villain. It's got everything that an action movie needs, and it really excels as an action movie because this is a film that has been talked about for decades. I mean, 32 years later, this is a movie that just keeps your adrenaline running and it keeps your blood pumping because this movie is just so badass from beginning to end that you just love everything about this movie. This is a movie that I just love watching, and the reason why this movie is a Christmas movie is because of the line, "I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho." The best thing about Die Hard are the performances. First of all, Bruce Willis is fantastic as John Mcclane. You buy him as the character, and I believe John Mcclane is the signature role meant for Bruce Willis. And the best thing about John Mcclane, the character, is that he is a character that people can actually relate to. Not everyone needs to be as buff and big as Bruce Willis, but it's because of the writing of the character of John Mcclane. He is someone who is just trying to protect his wife whenever German terrorists are attacking. And he's also a family man that also tries to comfort his family despite all of the crazy stuff that is happening. And another thing that makes John Mcclane so likable is that he is someone that also gets hurt. He's not just a Mr. Superhero dude that can just take down all of the German terrorists in the movie. He actually gets hurt, and you actually fear for his survival whenever he's struggling in the film. That's what makes Die Hard so memorable, is because of the performance by Bruce Willis and the amount of heart and dedication that he puts into the role of John Mcclane. And John Mcclane is truly one of the coolest action movie heroes that people can idolize in cinema. The other thing I love about Die Hard is the villain of the movie, Hans Gruber, played excellently by Alan Rickman, aka Professor Snape from Harry Potter. And the reason why I love Hans Gruber is because he is one of the coolest supervillains ever in action movie cinema, because he is not just a supervillain that just wants to take over the world. He's someone that wants to rob money from the LA building, and the way how he deals with other characters, and the way how he banters with Bruce Willis, aka John Mcclane. It's just really awesome and also intelligent. What makes Hans Gruber likable as a villain is because he's very calm, he's patient, and he even calculates every single move that Bruce Willis makes in the movie, making him a very intelligent villain. And whenever he's dealing with John Mcclane in the film, you actually get scared whenever Hans Gruber is around because he's very unpredictable, and he is also the villain that really knows every single move that John Mcclane might make, and those moves can be kind of screwed up by him, which is what makes Hans Gruber so monumental and iconic as a supervillain in an action movie. And what else can I say about the stunt work about Die Hard? This movie has one of the coolest stunts that I have ever seen, in an action movie because you see the stunts happening due to how practical they are, and that's just what makes the movie big from start to finish. It's just so mind-blowing that your jaw drops every 5 minutes, and all of the action scenes that happen within the film are just so enjoyable that it keeps your adrenaline running. And the other thing I love about Die Hard is how it is not just an action movie filled with spectacular stunts and action. It is also a movie that just tests the viewer about their patience. Because when the movie begins, you are introduced to John McClane. You're beginning to understand his character traits, what makes him John McClane. And whenever the crazy action stuff happens in the LA building, you begin to learn a lot more from him, from his struggles and the way how he tries to protect his wife. Because this is a movie that's also very focused on characters. It doesn't just focus on the stunt itself, it also focuses on both the heroes and the villains, making you kind of side with either one, which is why I find Die Hard so interesting and special as an action movie, because of how it tests the viewer's patience and the way of how it constructs its story, revolving around John McClane and the villain of Hans Gruber. Everything about Die Hard is big and magnificent because of the direction, the cinematography, the powerful performances by Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman, the action and stunt work, the explosions, and especially with the Christmas references with Ho Ho Ho, the Christmas songs, the Christmas trees, and the reference of the film taking place on Christmas Eve in LA, which is why Die Hard is one of the best Christmas action movies ever made. And because of everything that I have stated in this movie review, Die Hard absolutely gets a 10 out of 10. I am absolutely serious. Get Die Hard on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, VHS, whatever y'all want, and pop it in because it's a very enjoyable movie. I love it so much, and people can see why this movie is so iconic. And guys, I'm so happy to be back making this Die Hard movie review because I'm finally finished with all of my finals for the semester. This was a blast making this movie review, and I hope the holidays are going well for everybody. So, thank you very much, and I'll see y'all next time.